They're not trying to protect the environment. They're causing shortage of food.
Our world faces a host of challenges: climate change, COVID-19, conflicts, and rising inflation. Against this backdrop, food, energy, and fertilizer prices are skyrocketing, aggravated by the war in Ukraine. Taken together, this is a recipe for economic hardship, social turmoil, and record levels of hunger.
If the proponents of this evil agenda succeeded, they would stop us from doing the following. Number one, they would stop us from being alive. Humans, they say, are the largest producers of CO2, and as such, they have tried several strategies to reduce the world's population through various means, such as mandatory vaccination methods, transhumanism, legalizing assisted suicide, draconian policies, sinister plots like we saw during the COVID pandemic, and so on. Number two, they will change what we eat, when we eat, and how we eat. Currently, certain policies are being implemented in several nations, taxing farmers for rearing cows and sheep.
New Zealand has a new plan to save the planet from climate change. They're going to start taxing burps and farts from cows and sheep.
An emissions tax to reduce greenhouse gases, we're better out than in, will soon be costing farmers. New Zealand's Prime Minister has unveiled a world-first strategy to tax emissions from burps and urination produced by farm animals.
It's key to us that what we do is workable, that it's pragmatic, that it can be introduced in a timely way, and that it will actually bring down our emissions.
As farmers and as food producers, show the world how we can reduce our carbon footprint and feed the world in the way that they expect.
They have an idea of what we should eat, and they plan to enforce it, such as lab-grown meat, insects, air protein, and many more.
The United Nations agenda states that for the planet to survive, we must all do away with meat and must survive on eating bugs, insects, and cricket flour. This plan is already in progress as they strive to eradicate meat from all food sources in the world.
And it is right here where you can catch a glimpse of the future of our food. And these guys have nothing to do with it.
All because they claim cows and sheep release large amounts of methane gas, which could destroy the planet.
This machine is 3D printing steak. The goal is to create a piece of meat without killing a cow. And this Israeli startup is one of the dozens of companies racing to perfect the process.
It turns out that cows aren't necessarily the most efficient way of making beef.
It's no secret that beef is one of the most damaging foods for the planet. Look at this perfectly marbled steak. The white stuff is fat, that gives it flavor. The pink stuff is muscle, that's for protein. Scientists had to figure out how to recreate both. First, they take stem cells from a cow and then grow them in a lab.
That means that we're replacing the body of the animal with what's called a bioreactor.
Getting the cells to grow under these conditions is no easy task.
Usually cells are attached to something. They grow in a petri dish or flasks, and they want to attach to something.
Here, the cells grow suspended in a liquid, where they divide roughly once a day. Then scientists move the mass of cells to the tissue engineering lab, where they make something called bioinks.
Because this is the beginning of the bioprinting stage, the inks that we're using actually contain the cells that we've been growing in the labs previously.
There's one for muscle and one for fat. They're fed through these nozzles, and technicians can customize how much of each goes into the steak. Remember how the cells were growing in that liquid? Well, it contains something called fetal bovine serum, or FBS.
In layman's terms, it's baby cow blood.
This is the sinister and evil agenda behind the climate change propaganda. These are all lies. Lies painted green in the guise of global warming, also known as climate change, by the globalists in a bid to control and depopulate the world.